happy, Mommy.
Me too, honey. Me too.
Look, Mommy.
Honey, it's beautiful.
Like heaven. I think Daddy wanted us to see this, so we would know he's okay.
I think you're right, honey. I think you're right.
Dizzy.
No, that's my character.
Your character? Oh.
I'm JoJo, and she's the real Desi.
The real Desi. Oh. That's great. Well, we'll see you back on set. Bye.
Bye. This is Desi's grandma. And this is Desi's mommy.
So what is this like to meet the character you're playing?
Well, it's great because I had no idea, and sometimes you never know. And then blue eyes, blonde hair, it's nice. And it's such a beautiful story. It's wonderful. It's a gorgeous story. I just read it, I started to cry. I was like, oh my goodness.
Such a beautiful award-winning actress portraying you. How exciting that must be.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what to say.
I think it's a perfect
I just sit and stare at her.
It's kind of surreal.
Just like Desi had. That backpack that Samantha's carrying, it's just like the one Desi has. Oh my God. That I got her for school. Remember that backpack you got at home? It's like the one that Samantha's carrying. It's just like it I got her for school 2 years ago. Isn't that funny?
Smoke's beautiful. Beautiful smoke. Five's up. There we go. Don't forget to let those balloons go higher.
That's right. Quiet, please.
Action! Cut!
Cut it!
Good work.
I like doing this part.
Good. That was nice.
When you look in there, that sun's too bright. It's hitting them, and it's making them where you can't see them.
On here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I don't know. You were talking.
Did you hear Jesse yelling action and cut? What'd you think about that?
I heard it.
Tears in your eyes. How come?
Because this is special for Desi.
Make it a date and come join the Lincoln Drink Tour this Friday as we hit up the Hollywood HQ, Bottles Crescent, Olaba from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Tell a friend to bring a friend and come link and drink with the Historific team and our Lincoln Drink sponsor. Trang Bak Tonic Wine, strengthen your back for Make the Attack, and the Cove Bay products, the brand you trust. Look for Cove Bay brand in supermarkets and wholesales. That's this Friday. The Lincoln Drink Tour will be live from 7 to 11 p.m. at Hollywood HQ, Bowles Crescent, Olaba. Good times, guaranteed.
In-studio audience is back on Daytime Live only on Games Day Wednesdays, this and every Wednesday in November. Come out and meet the team, get in on the games, win great prizes, and share your thoughts on our buzz and wacky news segments. Daytime Live is shot on location at 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5. See you then.
Final Whistle is brought to you by...
Get 25% off a 7 or 28-day Prime Barter bundle in the My Digicel app today. Enter to pick and win with Digicel this Christmas.
Nothing moves your vibe, your mood, or your appetite like the taste of grace.
Pepsi.
Cool! You just get up. What you hungry, man? You're the king of this. Like how what are the king of burgers.
Taste rules your way at Burger King. The best tasting burgers under the...
Right then, hello and welcome to Final Whistle here on TVJ, TVJSN, and on Hits 92 FM. Earlier, we saw some courageous performances. Yes, the USA, very brave against England just now. Disappointment as well for host nation Qatar. They became the first host nation to be out of contention for the round of 16, the first team out of contention. Then, of course, the thrills, the spills, the excitement all awaits as we give you expert analysis. Right then, with me in the studio, the all-star team. Let me begin with Coach Eric Rademacher. He's to my left and your right. And they say the rose within the thorns. Former reggae girl, Sharona Forrester. Quick trek over to my right, Shavar Thomas. Former reggae boy. 2 World Cups for Shavar. Under 17 in 1999 and 2001, the Under 20 World Cup as well. And Coach Andrew Price sits right next to him. And on Zoom, Miguel Coley joins us as well as Liam Henriquez. And I'll be your captain for the evening. I am Jermaine Brown. And once again, this is Final Whistle. And of course, the Maverick is on the go again. He is somewhere in the corporate area. You never know. But we're going to be finding out where he is. So let's find out where the Maverick is at this moment.
Okay. It's the Maverick on the go. And I told you, you can't know. All right, you're going to know now. Right now, the Maverick, the streets brought me to Kingston Jerk. Right here on Chelsea Avenue. Look, this is one of the biggest watch parties for World Cup 2022. Yeah, that screen up there's so big like that. Look, big like the Maverick head. Trust me. I mean, inside the Kingston Jerk, we had quite a few fans. Some of them were very disgruntled. Some of them were England fans. We managed to hold on for one of them. I soon talked to him. But England USA ended 0-0, right? And some people say England escape based on the run-up play. It was a good show by the CONCACAF team. The big bad USA, I mean, holding, neutralizing England basically. A surprise to many. I think whole lot of people bet mash up with that particular result. But we have one particular disgruntled England fan here. And he's been very vocal off air. But no, we're going to get him to speak about how he's feeling on air. Good evening and welcome to the big bad final whistle, my boss. How you doing?
Good man. Well, go on, Tracy. Yeah, man. I mean, 1 point isn't the worst result because, I mean, it's tournament football. You want to make sure you at least don't lose. I mean, we have Wales the next match. Again, you know the rivalry with Wales and England. So anything is possible. But at least you don't lose. So disappointed, but not.
I mean, we were pointing it out to some people who were here before that England has never beaten the USA in World Cup football. Tell them the record that the 3 games that they played.
Yeah, so this is the 3rd time we are playing England in the World Cup itself. First time we were beaten 1-0, then a draw. So 50, right? So today now we try reverse all of that. But there's something about history, you know. Sometimes you just have to just respect history. So draw, as I say, not the worst result, but disappointed.
All right. Happy you were able to dry up your tears and speak to Jamaica. Big up yourself. All right. You know what we have here now? But one does never cease. We have an Englishman who was here cheering for the United States of America. Only on the final whistle. Explain that situation, my boss.
It's like this. We got family all over. Born and bred Englishman, but with a good game, the United States, they stepped up. Nobody wanted to lose today. We saw that plain and straight, Mr. T.
With all those galaxy of English stars that we see every weekend on our television, how were the English able to happen to just hold on for a draw against the mighty England against United States in football?
You see what it is? Through the history of the World Cup, yeah, we know England choke. They choke.
Yeah.
And all their star man, they brought on Rashford too late. Yeah, and
all is not lost.
Some of their best players they left at home.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. Give me a name or two.
Okay, Mr. Tony. That's one. Ivan Tony should have been there, as far as I'm concerned, anyway. You know what I mean? Because he brings a different dimension to the game.
All right, 4 points. You're still not out, so you still have some more football.
It's still anyone's game. It's still anyone's game.
All right, it's the Maverick on the go, so I've got to move. I'm on the go. Follow the Maverick. We have a couple of more interesting football fans in the house. Here we found ourselves a football fan and a lady. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yes, I'm great.
All right. I don't want to embarrass you, but you know what is happening over in Qatar?
Yes, the World Cup 2022.
Name me 3 teams that are currently taking part in the World Cup.
Well, we just saw USA and Canada. Qatar. Okay.
I think she embarrassed me. All right, you're enjoying the World Cup.
Definitely. I mean, it happens once every 4 years, you know. We don't get this kind of display unless something like this is happening, and it brings the entire world together. Yeah.
Thank you very much. All right, we have an anonymous football fan here. Anonymous football fan. He was all caught up in the game. What are your thoughts on America from CONCACAF holding the mighty European giants, England, to a draw?
I think it's awesome. I think for us in the region, for CONCACAF, that we really need to make sure that all our CONCACAF teams put on a good showing, because we have to keep those 6 places. That's key. So USA, they did a real good show of themselves, and I think we can be proud of their achievements. The English team, not the right English team. Definitely not. The pick in terms of the squad just was not the right squad. Missing Tony, missing a couple of other players. But the reality is, we'll see what happens the next match. They came here for a draw, and that's what it seems.
All right, we have some Ivan Tony fans in the house. All right, that's it tonight. It's the Maverick on the go, so you know I can't stay one place too long. We are at Kingston Jerk, Chelsea Avenue, and it's the Maverick on the go, and it is Qatar 2022, and on the go, the Maverick is gone.
Yeah, you just never know with the Maverick on the go. All right, so we're going to begin our discussions here now. England, starting with England versus the USA, that match ending 0-0. The Americans holding the mighty English team to a 0-0 stalemate. I'm going to be bringing in Coach Andrew Price and Shavar Thomas as we look at that game. Coach Price, let's look at England first. They went into the contest as favorites. They went into this contest with 3 points. They would have been hoping to win this match and put a foot into the next round. Your thoughts on where you think England might have gone wrong today?
Well, I think what happened is that I think England was possibly let down after getting that good score against Iran. I think they came into the game a bit complacent. They thought they would get the 3 points, but they played against a very plucky United States team who presses very high up the pitch. They're full of energy, and I think they overwhelmed the English team today. And what we saw today was what we're going to see from a lot of teams in the competition. If you come prepared to play and you have the requisite energy and you can put teams on their back foot, you can get the better of them. I think both teams got chances either side of the field, but I think that the US would be more happy with the result of the game. I think England's a bit disappointed, but guess what? A point is not too bad. So both teams, I think, would be satisfied with the result.
Yeah, Shavar, the US, a lot has been said about them being young and fast, and it was felt that at points they might have ran out of steam, but they went all the way in this match, and they have 2 points now. But in terms of just how they acquitted themselves, they got a few chances as well. So a very good performance by the Americans overall.
No, most definitely. The only thing for me from their first game to now is that they needed to play for 90 minutes. And today they did that. They showed that they can compete and that they belonged, and they caused a lot of troubles for England.
Yeah, so it wasn't just about youthful exuberance today.
No.
It was more than that.
Obviously, they did their homework. The coach went back and see what they did wrong, and they fixed it today. Only thing they needed to do is score. And next game, they have it all to play for against Iran.
Right, and we're going to be getting there as well. Liam, let me bring you in. Liam Enriquez joins us via Zoom. Liam, when you look at this game between the Americans and the English, 0-0 stalemate, breaking down the statistics, the English dominant in possession overall, 55 to the Americans, 45%. They had more shots on target as well. So overall, when you look at the statistics, the English were just ahead, but didn't get a goal. And that's where it fell apart for them somewhat, but they got a point. But your take on this game overall, and where both teams go from here.
I think the Americans are definitely very happy. Not only with the point, but the fact that they play very well. Equal game all around. I think the score definitely tells the story of the game. England not going to be happy. When you're trying to win the World Cup, I know that's definitely their goal. You don't want to be, tying in the group stage against, a team like America. Credit to America, but I think England definitely are going to be disappointed with this. I think some of their decisions were just not the greatest. I don't know why Southgate was bringing on Henderson. They're trying to get the win. Henderson is not really, he has experience, sure, but these players are, they're young, but they've played in major tournaments before, and they're experienced enough to, carry themselves out for the win. And that's why I think someone like Foden or Rashford or both should have definitely been brought on. To get that goal. And like Andrew said, the intensity really wasn't there at times. So England, not terrible, but they're not going to be happy with this result. And they look to the next game, and USA, I think it's a great result for them.
By the way, as far as the points table go, England, they moved to 4 points, and that's one ahead of the Iranians. The Americans are in third on 2 points, and at the foot of the table, Wales on a solitary point. And that gives me the perfect segue to my next match to discuss. All right, let's head to the Netherlands, and I think before we do that, let's just wrap up this group, the Wales-Iran contest, where the Iranians ran out 2-0 victors. A bit of a surprise there as well. And for me, the most dramatic match of the tournament thus far, with the game looking as if it was heading for a draw. In the 86th minute, Wayne Hennessy red-carded. The goalkeeper ran out, and it was on the replay, a most atrocious tackle by him, ending up with a red card there, and the Iranians winning the game in time added. Sharona, let me bring you in here. The Iranians coming back from defeat, that heavy defeat to the English in their opening game, and getting by Wales. How much of a surprise is this?
The performance by Wales was very surprising, but then I thought of the time. It was 1 p.m., so it was very hot, so that would probably be why they looked so slow and
Lethargic at
tired.
times,
Yes, they didn't look like themselves.
Right.
And Iran very acclimatized to that sort of temperature, and they came out swinging. So I think they played well the entire game and deserved those goals. I thought they would have scored earlier.
Coach, let's check it. Let's look at the Iranian team a bit closer. Getting by Wales and right in the mix of things, going into the final set of group matches. When you look back at that particular contest, the Iranians getting the goals there in time added. How significant is this in terms of, we discussed it before, in the amount of time being added to the matches. Helpful in any way, you think?
Yeah, of course. I mean, the win that they get today is crucial to them. And
not just the win, I'm talking about doing it deep into time added. As a matter of fact, 12 minutes of added time overall.
I mean, it's something can maybe add a little extra value, if you really work hard for something and then you get it. It's nice in a tournament to kind of have those moments. But I think most of all, Iran was shocked by the 6-2 loss that they had against England. I mean, overall, they have a pretty solid defensive record. So, to concede 6 goals was shocking for them. And I think they recovered very well. I think they should have gotten the goals earlier. I think they hit the post twice with some good attempts. And so I think it even makes them a little nervous that they scored that late, but it's great for them to score. And even we look at they have now 3 goal scorers on the board. Taremi don't even get on the score sheet today. So those are great things for Iran. And as Shavar was saying, it's going to be a hot match against USA, and Iran has everything to play for. And I think after that first match against England, most Iranians were not so sure if they still have something to play for in that last match.
Lots to play for. Coach Miguel Coley, let me bring you in quickly. What a match today between Iran and Wales. A quick look at the Welsh team and where you think things went wrong for them in a contest that they would have been hoping or would have been looking to win overall.
Well, I think the Welsh team was a little bit surprised by the Iranian tactic. First match Iran played, they played with a back 3, which I was very surprised about. I would have worked with about 6 of the players, coach 6 of the players, so I know their abilities. So when I saw that the coach came with a 4-4-2, especially with Uzman from Leverkusen and using Taremi from Porto, I know that they would play a little bit more direct and a little bit more counter-attacking. And Iran has the mentality of casting up a shield, but never say dying, keep on going and keep on fighting. And you could see them with a little bit of flair, quick passing, good orientation changes. And I think that kind of overwhelmed the Welsh team, who definitely try to play through the middle, which Iran most time close. And then you have to look at the 1 versus 1 with Rondon and Osman. When you play a back 3, you're susceptible, especially with a 1 versus 1 inside of the middle. And I think the Iranian team utilized that tool as much as possible, and it paid the bit.
How significant was that red card picked up by goalkeeper Wayne Hennessy in the 86th minute? I think that was quite a turning point in the match there.
Yeah, it would have been, because Iran would have a numerical advantage, and they were pressing. They were already in the ascendancy, so that would have given them more energy to go forward. And I think after the red card, the Iranian team, they look out of sort. But maybe in the last 4 minutes they got their act together. They were getting the ball in the wide areas, in the process. And players like Taremi, when he came in, he was taking some chances, and I believe that pressure, that intensity and intent of the Iranian team paid dividends in the end.
All right, we're going to be quickly trekking over now to Group B, where the matches there were also quite interesting as well. Coach Andrew Price, we're going to be Ecuador and the Netherlands, ending 1-1. Ecuador, we saw how well they acquitted themselves in the opening match and showing that they're here to play ball. I mean, the Dutch never had things their own way.
No, I mean, if you watch the first 20 minutes of the game, you thought that the Netherlands were going to walk over Ecuador. But slowly but surely, they got into the game, and they started to use the flanks a lot and put the Netherlands team under a lot of pressure. I really enjoy watching this Ecuadorian team. They have a lot of flair. They use the wings. a lot. People like Casado in the middle of the park really holds up the ball well. And Evan Elsa, you have to mark him. And, he scored again today. And all goals that were scored, the last 6 goals that were scored by Ecuador were scored by Enner Valencia. So it's somebody that you have to, he's a marked man.
Yeah.
And I think on another day they could have won the game. I'm disappointed with the way the Dutch team played today. I think that they could have played with more impact on the game, but they didn't really impress themselves on the Ecuadorian team. And as the game got longer, Ecuador got stronger. And, with a little bit more luck, maybe they could have gotten a result out of the game.
Yeah. Shavar, I mean, what Coach Price said about, Enner Valencia being their main goal scorer. He scored the last 6 goals for them. When you look at their last 6 goals, he's been involved, so the statistics do matter. Mm-hmm. It's a game that the Dutch overall had better possession in, and even when you look at passes, 506 to the Ecuadorians, 412. And overall, but when you look a bit closer, you see that there wasn't much separating the two teams.
Most definitely.
Upon one.
I mean, stats and where you keep the ball has something to do with it. So if the Dutch is keeping the ball in their own half and then making 1,000 passes there, then it's all good for Ecuador to just sit there and wait for their turn to get on the ball. For me, 2 things I'm looking for in this round. The teams that have done poorly, lost 6-2, like Iran, to come back and make a stamp on the game, make a performance. The teams that have done well, the Englands, the Netherlands, they should come in their second game looking to stamp their authority and show that, yes, we belong, we're challengers for this. But today, it was a poor performance from the Dutch.
Yeah.
I mean, they were flat.
Right.
Straight up.
All right. Liam, let me bring in quite quickly as we're looking to wrap up the matches we saw earlier today. Your take on the contest between the Dutch and the Ecuadorians?
Oh, well, yeah, the Dutch came out and played their usual style of very defensive football. I'm seeing here that they had 2 shots and 1 on target. Create the gap for the young star to, finish off. And Ecuador were good. Dutch sat back. You might think, it's because, they're not a great team. But to be honest with you, the Dutch like playing like that. They know their strength is in the defense, so they're more than happy to do that. And Ecuador, credit to them with their adversity. The goal disallowed in the first half, they came back and at Valencia again, free as day to score, and they kept going towards the end of the game. It looked like they could possibly get a second, but again, that Dutch defense, was just an absolute unit. And Ecuador will be happy with this result. They want, they looked dejected. They looked Ecuador fans looked like they wanted the 3 points, and they were, sad they never got it. But overall, on paper, it's a good result for them. Netherlands, not the greatest, but both teams, take positives towards the next game.
All right, and getting a point as they look ahead to their next game. All right, let's look at the contest between Senegal and Qatar. Sharona, the Senegalese, the African champions, getting their first points of the tournament, winning 3-1 and dominating the contest pretty much, and coming away with what was an impressive victory in the end. Your thoughts on how they looked overall against this Qatar team today?
The Senegal game was interesting. It's no surprise that they won. I was very happy that Qatar improved on the performance that they gave for the first game. As host nations, you want to have that kind of pride and restore that for your supporters. But the Senegalese showed them, who is boss today. Right. It was just going at them, and they just couldn't manage. And when you have one person, a fifth, running all over the place.
And that is for the
Qataris.
Yeah.
The Qataris. Where he could have been giving damage would have been up front.
Right.
But he's collecting it in the defensive third.
Right.
So it's, it was just, they didn't have it together, but they did better.
Coach Radamakas, the Senegalese getting 3 goals, but getting them from 3 different scorers as well. And I think this is something that they'll be pleased with as they look to move forward to their next match as well.
Yeah, I think Senegal have a very strong defensive line, so I think they will be a little bit you know, sad that they still got some pressure from Qatar, and Qatar even got a goal. But of course, you're extremely happy when you lose your first match that you come back and you score 3 goals. Some good goals as well, especially the second one, great heading goal as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, of course, they're going to be happy with that performance.
Yeah. Coach Miguel Coley, let me bring you in. The Senegalese, they were quite irrepressible against the Dutch, but just couldn't get that goal. But getting 3 here today against a Qatar team who they're now out of the tournament, having lost their second match. You also then in Qatar. What's the feeling like there with Qatar being out now?
Well, there's a feeling of disappointment. They know that the team can perform a bit better. Many analysts, many footballers, past players, many are speaking about the tactic of the coach, the system that they play, knowing the fact that Afif is more, he plays winger for Al-Sadd in the league, and Mo is also a winger for Al-Hilal in the league. So you play a 3-5-2 without a striker, and you want to put the ball wide, but in the process, you don't really have a person inside of the box to finish. Montar, who came on and scored, he looked dangerous in the last game. He didn't start today, but they expected him to start. Also in the midfield, when you look at, he changed Hashem and he brought in Madibu with Karim Buddha forward. Similar players, they tend to try to win the ball, not very creative, and you had that. So with a must-win game, they would have expected, probably you carry back Hashim, and maybe with Madibu, he's a little bit better from the hip, and he can also win the ball, in terms of defensive transition. So it's disappointing. The only good thing is that the team played a little bit than the first game, and they were able to score their first goal.
Yeah,
but,
because
they lack.
we were discussing here in studio before we came on that we've seen this Qatar team play better. We've seen them play well in the Gold Cup. We saw them playing well. They are the Asian champions as well. They had a few friendlies that they looked good in. But do you think the occasion got to them overall?
Yeah,
they playing at home and the expectations on them.
For the first match, you can say it's normal that they're playing a quality team in the first match. These things can happen, but in the second game, you would expect them to express themselves, and you expect that the tactic would be, it would be best for the team, and that is what a lot of persons are saying. They don't believe the tactic from the coach suits the team. Because maybe even the last part, you see they're taking out attacking play and putting defensive play just to maintain a back three. So those are some of the things. But as I said, the good point is that they had scored a goal today.
All right, so you're saying tactically they got it all wrong. All right, we have to go to a break. So we're going to go to a break and come back with lots more right here on the Final Whistle. Stay tuned.
Of giving. Enjoy enough pickings this Christmas with a chance to pick and win your share of over 16 million in cash and prizes. Plus, get 25% off a 7 or 28-day Prime Brota bundle in the My Digicel app today. Enter to pick and win with Digicel this Christmas.
Fool! You just get what? But you hungry, man. They're the king of this. Like how what are the king of burgers? You see when Burger King goes so boom, and they make the beef patty well seasoned up and put it on the open flame, then them go so juicy pickles, tomatoes, freshly cut onions, crispy lettuce, classic. Every other burger still stuck at square one.
Babe!
3 juicy whopper, right on time.
Taste rules your way at Burger King. The best tasting burgers under the
And welcome back to Final Whistle right here on TVJ on Hits 92 FM and the TVJ SN. Now, the fans have decorated the streets there with costumes representing their countries. So let's take a look at this particular feature of the World Cup, the beauty. We've seen those costumes and the countries representing there in Doha. By the way, Remember, you can join us on the phone lines at 876-733-246126 and let us know what you think about the action there in Qatar. Of course, it's day 5 of the FIFA World Cup. And just once again letting you know that on set with me, Andrew Price, Shavar Thomas is also here, Sharona Forrester. Well, I'm going to be too quick, lazy here. Sharona Forrester and Coach Rademakas, who hails from the Netherlands. All right, so I tell you what, by the way, just a quick update. 5-time champions Brazil, they have been dealt a double injury blow as forward Neymar and right back Danilo have been ruled out of the next 2 group games in Qatar. Of course, they'll be facing Switzerland and Cameroon. Neymar out due to a right ankle ligament damage, which he picked up in the 80th minute there in their win on Thursday. And Danilo, he's also out with an ankle ligament injury. So updates there coming out of Qatar, the Brazilian team. All right, so we're going to be heading to another break, but I tell you what, our callers will be interacting with us when we come back. So remember now, the phone lines, 733-2461 through to 6. 733-2461 through to 6. All right, we have a feature coming up as well, so we're going to be joining that too.
Esta pelota está inspirada en la icónica frase de Maradona que es la pelota no se mancha, y justamente lo que tratamos de hacer con este diseño es mostrar uno de los momentos más icónicos de su carrera, que es el momento en el cual él levantó la Copa del Mundo en el Mundial de México 86.
Para Jorge, para todos los campeones del 86. Tenemos el relato de Víctor Hugo para el cierre de este evento, una imagen que no nos cansamos de ver.
Lo que hizo este señor por hacer enamorar a mucha gente del fútbol, de nuestro deporte, hay muy pocos, o quizás nadie que hizo lo que hizo él.
Join the rhythm, enjoy the flavor, the taste that you savor. Share with your friend and your neighbor. We're made in Jamaica. Join the rhythm, enjoy the flavor, the taste that you savor. Share with your friend and your neighbor. We're made in Jamaica.
Grace Tropical Rhythms. Join the rhythm.
Fool! You just get what? I'm hungry, man. They're the king of this. Like how what are the king of burgers? You see when Burger King goes so boom, and they make the beef patty well seasoned up and put it on the open flame, then them go so juicy pickles, tomatoes, freshly cut onions, crispy lettuce, classic. Every other burger still stuck at square one.
Babe!
3 juicy whopper, right on time.
Taste rules your way at Burger King, the best tasting burgers under the sun.
Because it's the season of giving, enjoy enough pickings this Christmas with a chance to pick and win your share of over 16 million in cash and prizes. Plus, get 25% off a 7 or 28-day Prime Brota bundle in the My Digicel app today. Enter to pick and win with Digicel this Christmas.
Welcome back to Final Whistle. Now, before we through to that break, we showed you a feature. And you saw Diego Maradona. Well, it's already 2 years since we lost the legendary Argentine Diego Maradona with his, the signature hand of God goal back in 1986, so when they won the World Cup then in that quarterfinal contest against England. And we're going to be showing you that feature again. Of course, Argentina, they play tomorrow, so lots to play for, right? So time flies. 2 years since his passing. So I told you our phone lines would be open, 733-2461 through to 6. And Toots joins us on the phone lines. And Toots hails from St. Ann. Toots, what say you?
Oh, go on. We got the panelists.
Yes, man.
It's a good World Cup so far. Brazil and Portugal are my team, them.
No, you can't have two teams. No, you have two teams.
My favorite player now. And Brazil is my team from my boy.
Right.
So right, number one, Ronaldo go out on a high. The only disappointment is that most of when I see it, if we now download the app, when I see it.
Yeah. But
So,
Toots, I tell you, if you're not seeing it, you can hear it, on Hits 92, right? And then you join us right after the match.
Well, you don't want to see it when you talk.
Yeah, man.
But as I say, most persons download the app them, so I can't see it. But that's the only disappointment. It's a good tournament so far, and I like to upset them. One my wish is for Argentina to lose the next match. Then I'm glad after that.
All right, Toots. Well, we shall see. We shall see come tomorrow when Argentina takes on Mexico, and we're going to be discussing that match as well. Anything else, Toots, really quickly? All right, thank you. So that's Toots from Sin, and they're giving his views on the World Cup thus far. Remember, the numbers to call, 733-2461 through to 6. All right, we take another break, do we? All right, so we're going to be heading right into the matches looking to, that will be contested on Saturday, Group C and D. Let's start with Group C. And Argentina versus Mexico. That's a match that, fans around the world will be looking to watch, because the Argentines, as you do recall, lost their opening match to Saudi Arabia. Sharona, let me bring you in, along with Coach Rademacher's first up. The Argentines almost in a must-win contest against the plucky Mexicans, who came away with a draw in their opening match. So lots and lots to play for.
That's right, Jermaine. This group, you have to be on your P's and Q's. Another mistake and you're basically out of the tournament. They're wounded, but they know that this is Messi's last chance, and they will want to pull all the tricks out the hat. But if Mexico continues to play like the performance they put on in the first match, we're in for quite a treat tomorrow.
Coach Rademacher's, things fell apart for Argentina in that opening match against the Saudi Arabians. What do they need to do tomorrow to get the better of we say a tournament team in Mexico?
I think just looking back at the previous match, you kind of say, what went wrong. I think really the first half is where they were not successful in getting a goal, because they were able to break them down more, create chances, but you don't get the goal, the team gets more confidence, and it became a different story in the second half. So I think it's going to be crucial for them to put away the chances that they get, so they have to be clinical. But I think they might focus a little bit more. I wouldn't be surprised if they take out Papu Gomez, put in an extra midfielder to kind of get that midfield battle from Mexico and win that over there. And I look, and I think they used Messi a little bit different last time, I think because Lo Celso dropped out as attacking mid. They tried some different things, so I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of go back to where really the Messi and the Paul combination, where go inside, the Paul overlap and stay high. And hope that they get back to their winning ways, what they were used for from before.
Right. Coach Coley, let me bring you in really quickly. The focus is always on Messi, where Argentina is concerned, but he has a cast around him in terms of players around him that can also score, and they showed that in their previous 37 matches. Of course, they would have lost for the first time in 37 matches against Saudi Arabia. So where do the goals come from for them come tomorrow against the Mexicans?
Well, I believe the wing play has to improve tremendously. Demare has to be better, and they have to put more players and more bodies inside of the box. I think those are the things that they have to do much better. The wing play, Messi has to play a little bit higher rather than going so deep for the ball and play between the channels and play in the lines. And also be a little bit faster, change the ball, orientation changes. I think they will be a better team. But 4 minutes, 5 minutes decided what happened, decided the match the last time around. They have to cancel that game. You know, they have to cancel the game. They are still a good team. They're playing against Mexico, who's also a good team. But that will also employ a similar tactic in the low block and mid block, like the Saudi Arabia. So they have to move the ball a little bit faster. They have to be much better.
All right. Before I move further with my panelists, Ted from St. Catherine joins us online, on the phone lines, that is. Ted, good afternoon. Welcome to Final Whistle. And what say you?
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
Good evening to your panel, too, sir.
Yes.
Mr. Price, how are you, sir?
I'm good, sir.
Yes, the next time I pull you over, sir, we'll talk, sir.
Okay.
Yes, I don't see what the weapon is for Argentina. All Argentina is going to score. Argentina know how to score. So I don't see what weapon is for. I don't see what they worry and the frustration for. Mexico's going to turn up, man. Everybody knows the turn. You see? So I don't know what the weapon, all about low and people are fretting and worry about Argentina. Argentina just play underestimate in the first match and the rest of the team. Play like, you know, you play food and the food that's but the Argentina team.
Listen, don't cry for me, Argentina, right?
No, they're going to go through, man. Mexico's going to turn up. I have doors for Germany, though. It's going to be very tough for them. The German people, the fans, they should be worried, really worried. Something about the family there.
Yeah, well,
it's nice to see a lady in the panel, though. It's nice to see a lady, pick up lady. How are you?
I'm good, sir. Thank you.
Any questions for her?
Don't worry. Argentina is going to go through, man. And I'm sorry for Mexico because normally when a good side lose their first match and the rod go on the next team they play. So Mexico is in a very... And it's not very easier for Argentina to play Mexico because Mexico is an attacking team, so they're going to get more space to play. They're not going to sit back like Saudi Arabia in the first match with those 11 guys behind the ball. Mexico is going to attack, so Argentina players are going to get space to play ball. So don't worry, Argentina will win, man. Easily. Trust me.
All right, Ted. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
And stay tuned to Final Whistle, of course. All right. Let me go back to Zoom and bring in Liam. Liam, a lot has been said about Argentina, but what about the Mexicans? Can they upset the Argentines come tomorrow? Maybe take a page from the Saudi Arabians.
Well, I mean, the difference is like the caller said, Mexico are attacking side. You know, what won the game for Saudi Arabia was their, defensively, the offside trap was huge for them. And, they were great defensively and also, didn't sit back too much. And they just got everything right. I'm not too sure about Mexico. I do think they were the better team against Poland, regardless of giving away a penalty and whatever. But I think both teams are not that great. And, this Mexican team is full of, League MX players, and I've seen better teams, like I said earlier. But no, they you never know. They can't surprise this Argentine team, but no, I would not count on it.
All right. Coach Price, you think the Mexicans can surprise the wounded Argentines?
It's going to be a tough game, and I think Argentina is prepared. They have no margin for error right now, having lost their first game, so they are going to come for this game to win it. But it's going to be an attrition in midfield. That's what's going to decide the game, People like here and Alvarez, Chavez playing very well in the middle of the park, going to match up with DePaul and the rest and company. It's going to be a tough game. The game is going to be won or lost in that midfield. Who dominates that midfield? I think Messi might play a lot deeper because when he plays a lot deeper, he's able to come forward quickly and open up the opposition's defense and make passes to the attackers. So he might play a little bit deeper tomorrow, and he knows that this game is an important game. So I expect Argentina to come to the party tomorrow, but it won't be an easy game.
Well, it would be remiss of me if I didn't bring in Shavar here, you know, because he's an Argentine. Yeah, but he's for the rest of the month, he's a Jamaican Argentine. Shavar, how do you see this one going?
No, most definitely. I think they'll be ready tomorrow to put on a show, led by Lionel Messi. And, I mean, they know what they have to do. I hear you guys saying we're wounded right now, but it's just a scratch. Put a Band-Aid over it. Oh, we come back again. Come on. I mean, these guys are ready. I mean, they have to. They have to be. A lot is riding on this one game because if they don't put any points on the board, it's go home time.
All right. I'm not ready to go home yet. I'm going to stay in Zone C, right? where Poland, Saudi Arabia, Coach Price. Saudi Arabia, the surprise package thus far, upsetting the Argentines. Can they do the same against what looks like a very disciplined Polish team? With Lewandowski, of course, he had missed a penalty in that contest, but it'll be a different affair come Saturday.
Well, definitely an important game. I think the Saudis are in pole position for this game.
Yeah, in pole position.
Yes, having gotten 3 points, they'll come into the game more mindful that they can possibly take the game to Poland. Poland looked very anemic up front. There weren't enough balls being played to Lewandowski, and they're going to have to change that. They have to get more direct and go forward a lot more often. Defensively, they look pretty much set and they look very organized. But what I have in a lot of fear is that they don't have that offensive potency that I would have expected with a player the like of Lewandowski there.
Yeah, Shavar, can the Saudi Arabians go on a fairy tale run? I mean, it's only one match, right? They can't do well too much on that, but how much can they take from that?
I mean, as you can see, they have a good coach and motivates them well. So tomorrow will be no different. Like Coach Andrew Price said, both teams' defensive structure is really good. So it's going to be who's going to bring the game to who. And I think Saudi Arabia have more potency up front than the Polish team, even though they have one of the best strikers in the world.
Who I'm going to go to speak of the who's who, one of the who's who of this tournament, Lewandowski, Coach Rodney.
I was wondering if Shavar was saying the wrong team. You say Saudi Arabia more potency up front.
I'm checking in with you.
They've scored more goals in the World Cup so far.
Exactly.
No, I think, especially with Saudi Arabia, with the specific high press, high line that they play, they're going to have a choice to make. Are we going to play the same way like this to Poland? And I think if they do, they won't be really surprising Poland, because Poland has seen Saudi Arabia do this. So they have a better game plan on it. And I also think that Poland might be a little more comfortable with that.
And that gives me the perfect segue, because I want you to zone in a bit on this Polish team. A lot on the shoulders of Lewandowski. He's expected to carry this team. Got the opportunity in the last match and threw it away.
Yeah, but I do think there's some other players that were underperforming as well. That they have big enough names to look at themselves and say, hey, we should have done better to support. You look at the Zielinski, who really should be running a midfield and creating these chances that I don't think he did good enough. You look at a Matty Cash, who's in the Premier League, sends in crosses every single weekend, and he barely delivers anything. If these two players go and put more on the table, the job will be much easier for Lewandowski. I look at the forwards, and assume they play a high line. Lewandowski might not be the fastest, but they still have Kaminski, who is fast, who have a good dribble over there. So I do think that Poland is equipped to deal with that high line. Maybe Saudi Arabia say we'll switch it up. That was specifically for Argentina, frustrated. We're now going to sit back deeper and try to prevent it. But I do think that Poland has something to prove. And Lewandowski, for sure, don't score yet. Got a penalty, missed it. He has to prove to Shavar that he has the potency. So I think Poland going to come with more energy tomorrow. And make it very difficult for Saudi Arabia to continue their story.
Will that be enough for the Polish, Sharon, in terms of having something to prove and doing so against a Saudi Arabian team that have their tails up and will be looking to create another upset?
Well, I believe both teams have something to prove. Saudi Arabia will now have to prove that's not a fluke, that, we are of this caliber and this is the style we play. We're very tactical and we're coming for each opponent. And Poland needs to prove that they're at the party, as coach would say, because they weren't in the last game. And I find that the teams that rely heavily on one person, if they have no support, it simply just frazzles out. So I think I agree with that point that he needs that support in order to get any good goals out of this against this Saudi Arabia team.
By the way, in terms of how the table is looking there, in Zone C, is the Saudi Arabians atop on 3 points, the Polish team on a solitary point, and the Mexicans as well, the Argentines at the foot of that table. Coach Miguel Coley, a quick look on this matchup between Saudi Arabia and Poland and how you see it going.
Well, Saudi Arabia would be definitely on a high. The goalkeeper had a very good outing. The defense line was fantastic, especially in the mid block. And this is one of the teams with the best with the best shape inside of the mid block. They played basically a 19 times by 40 meters, meaning that they're very, very narrow, and also they're very in the length. They're very, very short. So it's going to be very difficult for the Polish team. What's going to be important is how well the Polish team utilize the wide areas, how well they change the ball, and also how well they try to break the lines, especially over the top. You know, so the Argentine team were a little bit short in front. They couldn't play the long ball to a Messi, you know, but with a Lewandowski, they would probably try to look at the play for the winning the first ball from the long ball and also the second ball and play from there. But a good matchup, the likes of Kano in the midfield, he will be very pivotal for the Saudi Arabian team. And Saudi Arabian team, just to say, is basically made up of 2 different clubs in Saudi Arabia, Al Nassr and Al Hilal. So they know each other, and you know they're going to make it very difficult for the Polish team tomorrow. So I'm expecting a draw tomorrow.
You're expecting a draw? Is that what you said, Coach Coley?
Yes, I'm expecting a draw tomorrow.
All right, you have a particular scoreline you want to mention?
1-1. I think Al Nassr will score tomorrow, and Lewandowski.
Liam, quickly, how do you see this one going? What's your scoreline in what is expected to be an exciting contest?
Yeah, honestly, I agree with the 1-1. The Saudi Arabia team, I'm pretty excited to watch, especially, you know, like their number 10 out the Warsi. But I think Poland, you know, they're not, well, they know they need at least a point from this game, and they will grind it out. They might not, you know, have much of the ball, but they will grind it out, and yeah, 1-1 game.
All right. So, by the way, the Argentina-Mexico contest will be at 2 p.m. The Poland versus Saudi Arabia will be at 8 a.m. and those matches from Group C. All right. So, we're going to be going to a break. And when we come back, we look at the matches to come in Group D on Saturday.
It's the season of giving. Enjoy enough pickings this Christmas with a chance to pick and win your share of over 16 million in cash and prizes. Plus, get 25% off a 7 or 28-day Prime Brota bundle in the My Digicel app today. Enter to pick and win with Digicel this Christmas.
Grace Foods got the taste that moves you. Yard and abroad, it moves you. Grace Foods, the taste that moves you. Fuel the vibes anytime when they do Grace Foods from the end. Yeah, the taste that moves you. From the spices move you. Everybody shout out Grace. When the food sweet, we dance. When the vibe nice, we love. Yeah. The taste that moves you. Grace bringing the food you love.
Grace has the taste that everyone loves. That's why when we move with Grace.
Right then, welcome back to Final Whistle, looking ahead to the games for tomorrow, and specifically in Group D now. Tunisia versus Australia, 5 a.m., and of course France versus Denmark. Shavar, France versus Denmark. The French, they looked so impressive in the opening game. Much of the same tomorrow against the Denmark, you think?
Would be a tougher game, but I expect France to be the victors.
And that comes up at 11. Coach Price, your take.
Yeah, France will win that game 2-0.
Yeah, but a quick assessment of why you think that.
I'm telling you, the Denmark team is a good team, but I think that this is going to be a tougher game for France. But I still believe that they have enough depth and enough quality where they can get a result.
Liam, how do you see the defending champions going in their second game against the plucky Danes?
I expect Denmark to bounce back after their not-so-great performance in Tunisia and 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw?
Yeah.
All right, Liam said a 2-2 draw. All right, let's quickly look to Tunisia and Australia. That is at 5 a.m. crack of dawn. Sharona, what do you expect from this particular contest? The Tunisians came away with a draw in the opening contest. The Australians didn't fare as well against the French.
Tunisia looked really good in the back, so I'm expecting them to defend very well against Australia. I expect that game to go to Tunisia.
Yeah.
1-0.
All right, so we're expecting a second African team to claim victory at the tournament. Coach Radamakas, can the Aussies, can the Socceroos come back from that defeat against the French team? They already have a goal in the tournament.
It's pretty much exactly. They have to put everything on the line. So I expect at some point they're really going to go hard in attack. Tunisia has a great defensive record. They came in, I think, 7 out of 8 clean sheets before, 1-0 last match. So they have 8 out of 9 clean sheets in the last 9 matches. And Australia is not really known for their goal-scoring threats that they have, especially this World Cup. So it's going to be tough for Australia to break them down. I think it's going to be more, can Tunisia put some attacking threat on there? And if they are successful in that, I expect a win for Tunisia.
Coach Miguel Coley, both teams will be fancying their chances. The Australians feeling they can come back from that defeat. The Tunisians looking to register their first win. But what do you think these teams will have to do come tomorrow to come away with all 3 points?
Well, Australia their animation is known in terms that they go wide and put in the cross. And Tunisia with a strong defense, good aerial presence, will be ready for, I believe, for that. So the Australia has to switch it up a little bit more. You have to have players running behind, especially in the half spaces, and then they will have a chance. But for Tunisia, Masakni, the captain and player for Al Arabi, he will be pivotal. He's everything for the team, especially in attack. I believe maybe tomorrow Sassi from Aldo Hill will start, and he's a player who link up the passes, especially to Masakni in front. So it's going to be a very interesting game, 2 different styles in terms of how they play, but a very interesting game. But I believe Tunisia will win their first match.
Score line quickly.
1-0. It's not a team that scored many goals, so 1-0.
Sharona, I didn't ask you your scoreline, but quickly, this Tunisia.
Yeah, man, I said 1-0.
Yeah, I said 1-0 too?
Yeah, man.
To Tunisia.
Him hear me?
Yes. Coach Radamakas.
So 3 in a row. Call it 2-0.
2-0. 2.
Yeah, to Tunisia.
To Tunisia. All right. So Tunisia, my panelists are saying will overcome the Socceroos from Australia. So once again, the match is tomorrow. Tunisia, Australia, 5 a.m. Poland versus Saudi Arabia, 8 a.m. France, Denmark at 11. And Argentina versus Mexico, the feature match of the day at 2 p.m. Well, that does it for this edition of Final Whistle. And I want to say a big thank you to Sharona Forrester, Eric Radamakas, Shavar Thomas, Andrew Price, and on Zoom, Miguel Coley and Liam Henriquez. And I am Jermaine Brown saying thanks once again for joining us, and we'll do it again come tomorrow.
Final Whistle is brought to you by... Get 25% off a 7 or 28-day Prime Barter bundle in the My Digicel app today. Enter to pick and win with Digicel this Christmas.
Nothing moves your vibe, your mood, or your appetite like the taste of grace.
Pepsi.
Fool! You just get what? I'm hungry, man. You're the king of this. Like how what are the king of burgers?
Taste rules your way at Burger King, the best tasting burgers under the sun.
Join the rhythm, enjoy the flavor. The taste that you savor. Share with your friend and your neighbor. We're made in Jamaica. Join the rhythm, enjoy the flavor. The taste that you savor. Share with your friend and your neighbor. We're made in Jamaica.
Grace Tropical Rhythms. Join the rhythm.
Because it's the season of giving, enjoy enough pickings this Christmas with a chance to pick and win your share of over 16 million in cash and prizes. Plus, get 25% off a 7 or 28-day Prime Brota bundle in the My Digicel app today. Enter to pick and win with Digicel this Christmas.
Up next, the Supreme Ventures Lottery Draw.
Welcome to the official live drawing of the Supreme Ventures Lottery Games. This could be your lucky day. Get your tickets out and let the games begin.
Good afternoon. It is Friday, November 25, 2022. I'm Lisa and welcome to this afternoon's live Supreme Ventures Drive Time Game Draw. Now, before we begin, here's a quick look at your 1 and 3 p.m. winning numbers. And remember, all Supreme Ventures live draws are supervised by the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission and observed by the independent auditing firm PwC. And now, let's put some money in your top draw. This afternoon's jackpot is $800,000. Here are your winning numbers and good luck.